So, Liz, your hair's blonde.
Yes, it's platinum blonde.
How do you feel about being a blonde?
I'm a blonde! I'm a platinum blonde!
So I heard you had a brain tumor. How did that come about?
Well, one day, I was up in my room, and I could hear myself screaming. I was screaming. And my son heard me from downstairs, and he called a doctor, and the doctor came and slapped me across the face. And I was sort of staggered. And then I sort of came to. And there's these doctors, just real sophisticated, and they say,
Okay.
and the doctors were real serious. And then the doctors said, real serious. Real serious. And then the doctor said, Elizabeth. And then the doctor said, Elizabeth, you have a brain tumor, and you've had a seizure. And I said, I don't want that. And what's the next question? And then the doctor said, Elizabeth, you have a brain tumor, and you've had a seizure. And I said, well, I don't particularly want that.
Do any of these illnesses date back to your childhood?
No.
So, you've been pretty lively these days. Stand up and walk for us. I want to see a little action. Sit down! Behave yourself. You have to finish the interview. So, Liz, that guy that you're dating, is he just a friend or is he more than a friend?
No. We really are friends.
On the subject of marriage, do you think you'd ever get married again?
Ha 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 ha.
No marriage ever again. Your friend said that you wrote a bunch of journals when you were up in your bed for weeks at a time. Would you ever write another autobiography?
I'm too lazy.
So, Liz, I see your hair has changed colors. How do you like feeling a blonde? That's wonderful. Now, there's been some fairly good movies this year. Do any of them actually affect you? Do you like them? Are you proud of movies nowadays?
Can I be honest? I thought the movies sucked this year. They aren't the quality that they used to be.
Now, when you first got your tumor, what were the very first signs you ever felt?
Well, I was up in my bedroom, and I could
hear myself screaming. It's like in the Bible, what they call the Tower of Babel. I was speaking Babel. And my son was home, and he called the doctor, and the doctor slapped me across my face. It's not like I drank a whole bottle of bourbon. And he slung me in his car and took me to the hospital. And the doctors came in looking very serious and said, Elizabeth, you have had a brain tumor. And you've had a seizure. And I said, well, I don't particularly want that.
So, the question about marriage. This guy you're seeing, is he just a friend?
No.
Or is he more than a
We
friend?
really are friends.
Oh. So, what about marriage? Would you ever get married again? No marriage, ever again. Well. Now, on the question of autobiography, you wrote a bunch of journals all the weeks that you would sit alone in your room. Not even your sister saw them, but your sister one day mentioned, maybe you should write another biography. How about another autobiography?
I'm too lazy.
So Liz, how do you like being a blonde?
I love it. I'm a blonde. I'm a blonde.
So how have you gone to many movies lately? How do you like the movies this year?
I thought the movie sucked. You know, they don't make movies like they used to.
Now I've heard that you had a brain tumor. How did that come about?
I was up in my room, and I could hear myself screaming. I was screaming. And my son downstairs called the doctor. And the doctor came in. Elizabeth, what's wrong? And I said, what? What? And he slapped me in the face, and I sort of staggered. I staggered. And it's like the Bible, the Tower of Babel. I was talking Babel. And he rushed me to the hospital. And the doctors are real serious. They came and said to me, and I sorta came to, and they said, Elizabeth, why do you
Sorry. Right now.
You have a brain tumor. And you had a seizure. And I don't particularly want that. No.
Now, can we see you walk a little bit? I don't think most people realize how healthy you are.
Right?
Elizabeth, behave yourself. Come and sit down. Behave yourself. I've heard that you and Rod Steiger are more than just friends.
No. We're really just friends.
Now, what do you think you'll ever fall in love again? So, no marriage.
No!
Now, have you ever thought of writing your autobiography?
And the doctors said real serious. They said, Elizabeth, you've had a brain tumor. And hold on, wait. And the doctors, real serious, they looked at me and said, Elizabeth, you've had a brain. And the doctors said, and the doctors were real serious, said to me, Elizabeth, you've had a brain tumor, and you've had a seizure. And I said, well, I don't particularly want that. And the doctors said, real serious, they, hands on their hips, they said, Elizabeth, you've had a brain tumor, and you've had a seizure.
So Liz, what do you think about marriage? No marriage. No, never married again.
No!
So why don't you write not a biography?
I'm too lazy.
And then the doctors came in, real serious, and said to me, Elizabeth, you have had a brain tumor, and you've had a seizure. And I said, I don't particularly want that.
So, the question of marriage. Would you ever think about getting married again? So, no marriage ever. How about an autobiography? Would you ever think about writing another autobiography again?
I'm too lazy. And then the doctors came in real serious and looked at me and said, Elizabeth, you have had a brain tumor and you have had a seizure. And I said, well, I don't particularly want that. Here, stop, and I want to do it one more time. I want to try it. And then the doctors came in, and they came in real serious, and they said, Elizabeth, you have had a brain tumor, and you've had a seizure. And I said, well, I don't particularly want that. Fine, let's just walk.
And the doctors, just real serious, they say, Elizabeth, you've had a brain tumor, and you've had a seizure.